It's interesting when you watch people queuing for something, maybe for school dinners at lunchtime, or maybe to get tickets for the cinema or to get on a bus, or even queuing for loo roll. There's always someone who pushes to the front, who wants to be first in line, to get there before everyone else. In today's story, we see some people who should have known better behaving like that. Let's hear what the Bible says about humility and open the book to the story, Me First.
James and John were brothers. They did everything together. And they were partners too. And shake your hands just like that, in a fishing business with their father Zebedee. But then they met Jesus, and he asked them to be his disciples. So the two of them, James and John, followed him and traveled with him all around the country. They learned from him and tried to live like he did. One day, the two brothers, James and John, came to Jesus with a request. Jesus, when you set up your kingdom, let us rule beside you, they said. One of us on your right-hand side, hold up your right hand, and one of us on your left-hand side. Yeah, hold out your left hand. Jesus smiled sadly. He wasn't planning to set up the kind of kingdom they were thinking of. He was planning a kingdom in heaven with very different values. And as he tried to explain to all his disciples, he would have to die first in order to build this kingdom on earth. So he said to James and John, can you drink the cup of suffering that I'm going to have to drink? Can you be baptized with my baptism? In other words, can you go through what I am going to have to face? And James and John nodded and said together, we can. And you will. Jesus sighed, knowing that life down the line was not going to be easy for his disciples. But it's not up to me to decide who will be on my left hand or on my right. When the other 10 disciples heard James and John trying to get favors from Jesus, they were really angry. One of them shouted, who do you think you are? Another one said, I'm just as good as you. And yet another said, oh, so you two think you're a couple of big shots, eh? And then they turned to Jesus. Me, Jesus, me. I want to be next to you in heaven. Make sure I get a good place, Jesus. I'm the most important one here. We deserve more than anyone else. I'm the most holy. I pray more than the rest of you. And on it went, until all the disciples, the men who were the closest friends of Jesus, who had spent the most time with him, were all shouting and yelling about what they deserved. Listen, said Jesus. Listen to me. In the kingdoms of this world, everyone values power and position and pushing everybody else around. But that's not how it is with me. I value humility. In God's kingdom, the greatest person is the one who puts the needs of the rest before their own. Remember, said Jesus, I did not come to this world to be served, but to serve. I came to give away my life as a sacrifice to bring everyone back to God.
Jesus always challenges us to really think about things, and the disciples felt ashamed at how they had bickered over who should be first. Christians believe that Jesus Christ calls us to a genuine humility, not where we don't value ourselves and not putting ourselves down, but instead being willing to serve others and put them first. Each of us is special, but that doesn't mean that any one person should lord it over another. Think about times when you have been full of yourself. How did you behave? And now think about how you might show a genuine humility instead. Now I'm going to say a prayer. And if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end after me. Dear God, Jesus showed us how to behave as a humble servant to others. Forgive us when we get caught up in our own importance. Amen.